Pluribus is delivering software-defined network solutions. What does this mean for the data center environment and also for the edge?
Well, we've been developing and deploying software-defined networking, what we like to call next-gen software-defined networking, using open white box switching for data center environments. And we've been doing this in a way that makes it very easy to integrate multiple data centers in a distributed environment, what we sometimes call a distributed cloud. And now as edge computing continues to grow and move further out into the network, we think this is a perfect solution to expand distributed networks out to many, many more edge sites. And we're seeing initial deployments and proof of concept trials doing just that.
What specific trends and applications require data processing closer to the end users?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of applications that people anticipate needing edge computing and processing closer to the users. Just this week we announced a proof of concept that had a very interesting application associated with it. We were collaborating with a group called the Kinetic Edge Alliance, led by Vapor.io. We're a founding member of the Kinetic Edge Alliance. And in this application, we extended the Pluribus Adaptive Cloud Fabric out to edge compute locations and showed how low latency improved the performance of a facial recognition application. So this is cameras looking at a street scene and being able to use facial recognition to understand, who is there. And so we showed the low latency improving the performance of that application. We also see a very strong interest in applications in gaming for low latency response time for real-time gaming. And then as we move into the future, there's going to be many different kinds of Internet of Things applications, including industrial Internet of Things applications, where it makes sense to have low latency and compute power deployed near the site of the whatever the things are that are being connected. So there are many, many applications for edge compute.
What can we expect in terms of data center and network establishment at the edge, also in combination with cloud and especially hyperscale cloud further coming up? Can you draw us a picture?
Yeah, I would say that when we look towards data centers at the edge, they become somewhat different, especially as you go farther and farther into the network. So they still have the element of compute power, of course, and some kind of networking, but they may be very small, and it may be necessary to reduce the complexity and reduce the number of elements in the very small edge compute sites. So that makes those sites like a mini data center, but in some ways they have to also be able to be operated as a distinct computing entity and not part of a larger data center fabric. They relate to the larger data centers in a hyperscale environment more loosely. So in some cases applications will be running independently at the edge. In other cases they'll be running with some communication with another part of the application running in the hyperscale cloud farther back into a traditional data center. It'll just depend upon the application how that actually works.
Your company was in the Deloitte Fast 500 in North America last year. Yeah. What exactly does your company offer to counter these network challenges at the edge and to create this kind of success?
Well, one of the reasons that I think we've been noticed for our success has been that we've been able to provide our solution in a way that's deployed into mobile network operators. Over 60 mobile network operators in the tier 1 brand names that many people would recognize are using Pluribus software for their mobile core NFVI or network function virtualization infrastructure. And those same operators are the ones who are going to be leading the charge to push the edge computing and move that NFVI infrastructure closer out to the applications and the users, and we're going along with that. So that's a key part of our strategic focus and an area where we're going to be right in the middle of the transformation of mobile networks as they move towards 5G. But we don't have to wait for 5G in order to do edge computing. We can do that actually with many applications today and current 4G technology.
Thanks, Mr. Gill. Thanks for your time.
You're welcome.